Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Andy, sometimes Mouse, and I talk about books and book-related things. And today I am giving you my September TBR, which includes my Sapphic September TBR, with the caveat that I will be skipping some prompts. Sorry, y'all, I didn't want to come up with 16 books. I really just didn't. I'm trying to be really gentle on myself this year for reading. Next year I'll be a little bit crazier. I might not even do all of the prompts for CLEARURSHT this year, okay? And that's my own readathon, so mind your business. Anyway, let's talk about my series continuations, because if you've watched my videos this year, then you know that I have now moved to where I don't tell you what's happening in those books, because I don't want to spoil anything, but if you want to start the series yourself, you're more than welcome to. So for my October Day reread, I will be reading Be the Serpent and Sleep No More. We are moving through those books pretty quickly, and I will be on the last couple of books, I think, in October, so then November I can read Divided Duty, which will come out in September. So, exciting. For the Discworld reread, I will be reading A Hat Full of Sky and Going Postal by Terry Pratchett. And then for another series that I started, and I'm honestly not having a good time, I think I'm just reading these out of spite at this point, I'll be reading The Inadequate Heir by Daniel L. Jensen. Let's talk about we'll do Sapphic September at the end here. From my book jar, I did pick a book. Hopefully I have a piece of footage here. I picked The Place Where They Buried Your Heart by Christina Henry. This is about a house, an abandoned house. Once upon a time, terrible things happened in it. The children who live on this block are told by their parents to stay away from the house, but of course, children don't listen, because children are bad. No, they think that it's fun to be scared, and they dare each other to go inside. Jessie Campolini did what many, many older sisters do, and dared her little brother, Paul. Unlike all the other kids who went inside the abandoned house, Paul never came back. His two friends, Jake and Richie, said the house ate Paul. Of course, adults didn't believe that. Adults never believe what kids say. They thought someone kidnapped Paul or otherwise hurt him. They thought Paul had disappeared in a way that was ordinary and explainable. The disappearance of her little brother broke Jessie's family apart in ways that would never be repaired. Jessie grew up, had children of her own, and kept living on the same street where the house that ate her brother sat, crouched and waiting. And darkness seemed to spread out from that house. It's giving Monster House. I don't know if anybody watched that movie as a child, but that's what it's giving, and so I'm excited about that. And then for my nonfiction book pick for this month, I will be reading The Revenge of Analog by David Sachs. It is about going back to analog devices and analog things. As ebooks are supposedly remaking reading, independent bookstores have sprouted across the country. As music allegedly migrates to the cloud, vinyl record sales have grown more than 10 times over the past decade. Even the offices of tech giants like Google and Facebook increasingly rely on pen and paper to drive their brightest ideas. Sachs' work reveals a deep truth about how humans shop, interact, and even think. Blending psychology and observant wit with a first-rate reportage, Sachs shows the limited appeal of the purely digital life and the robust future of a real world outside it. As someone who likes to do both analog and digital, I think this will be a really interesting read for me. And I've been kind of wanting to read it for a hot minute anyway, so yeah, I'm excited about that. Okay, moving into Sapphic September. Let me go ahead and preemptively say these are the prompts I am skipping. I am sorry, I just didn't. I want to knock out the books that I have kind of already on deck this year, and I don't want to push myself too much with my reading this year because I have enough going on. I will push myself more next year, but this year I am not doing that for sanity reasons. I will be skipping Butch Femme, Age Gap, Smutty. This Smutty I am skipping simply because I don't want to read a smut-filled book. I'm sorry, y'all. Related to Another Interest or Hobby, Murder Lesbians, and Choose Your Own. And yes, I could put Choose Your Own in any of these other books, and I might combine them when the Storygraph thing comes out. It is August 5th, okay? These have not even been officially announced yet. I just have them because I'm friends with Lexi and Landice. So for the prompts that I will be doing, this is a combo wombo. I will be doing Small Town Romance and part of a series, and I will be reading Get Over It, Rachel Evans by Ashley Blake Herring. This is the sequel to a book that I have on the floor over here. Actually, it never left the floor. I really need to organize my office. April Evans' life is in shambles. She had to close her tattoo shop in Clover Lake, and she's subletting her house just to make rent. Her love life is non-existent since Elena, her ex-fiance, left her for a younger woman 3 years ago. When she's asked to teach a summer art class at the town's new resort called Clover Wild, April jumps at the opportunity, especially since the job comes with boarding. She's sure that this is the silver lining she needs until she meets Daphne Love, the woman who stole her ex-fiance. And even worse, it's clear that Daphne has no idea who April is. Daphne is cursed in love. She thought she'd found unconditional love she craved in her girlfriend, Elena, but now she's single again and utterly brokenhearted. When her friend hooks her up with a summer gig as an art instructor at a swanky resort in New Hampshire, Daphne feels optimistic for once. If only she had a roommate and a coworker who didn't seem to hate her on sight. So then they end up competing about stuff, and they seem attracted to each other, and you can assume how that's going to unfold. Next up for pirates. Okay, it's space pirates. I'm doing space pirates. Y'all can fucking fight me, okay? I will be reading The Worst of All Possible Worlds by Alex White. This is the third book in a series about the crew of the legendary Capricious. They've gone legitimate, but they're still on the run. About Nyla and Boots. I don't want to spoil the previous two books, so... Yeah, I locked in a series continuations in this, didn't I? Look at me go. I will be reading The River Has Roots by Amal El-Motar for quick reads. In a small town of Thistleford on the edge of Fairy dwells the mysterious Hawthorne family. There they tend and harvest the enchanted willows and honor an ancient compact to sing to them in thanks for their magic. None more devotedly than the family's latest daughters, Esther and Isabel, who cherish each other as much as they cherish the ancient trees. But when Esther rejects a forceful suitor in favor of a lover from the land of Fairy, not only the sisters' bonds, but also their lives will be at risk. This has been kind of marked on my TBR for a hot minute, so... 2026 release, I will be reading Bone by Bone by Johanna von Veen. I thought I was going to put this as a new or new to you author, but apparently I have read from this author before. Back in the day, Sister Ursula is a young nun fleeing the ruins of her convent, and Elspeth, a sharp-witted peasant, escape a band of marauding soldiers and disappear in the Bavarian forest. Amid the devastation, they find something in the arms of a dying man, the gilded skull of a saint. It's said that if you reunite the saint's skull with her body, a wish will be granted. They're desperate, and they have their own secrets, and they follow a ragged map across this terrible countryside. Darkness follows them, a necromancer who's drawn to the relic's power. The saint herself is whispering at night, and as the lines between blessing and curse blur, the women must face a harrowing truth. The magic they seek comes at a cost. At the journey's end, they face an impossible choice, one that could tear apart everything they know or bind them to each other forever. I don't know, that sounds pretty gay. Next we have for new or new to you, I will be reading Muneca by Cynthia Gomez. This is 1968 Oakland, and Natalie Fuentes has been hearing rumors about the beautiful Violeta Miramontes, who is a young heiress to the Spanish colonial wealth and was left paralyzed by a mysterious illness. But Natty knows a thing or two about witchcraft, and she's certain that this is the work of dark magic. Armed with a plan to break the spell and earn a handsome reward, Natty works her way into the house as Violeta's caretaker and immediately discovers her suspicions are true. But who cursed Violeta and why? Because they're gay, probably. For indie or small press, I will be reading The Secret World of Briar Rose by Cindy Pham. Yes, Reads with Cindy, that one. This is a retelling of Briar Rose, Sleeping Beauty, aka. 100 years have passed since the last heir of Gildan fell into an eternal slumber and doomed the once mighty kingdom into poverty and invasion. At least that's what the fairy tales claim. Corin is a jaded thief who doesn't believe in the fables, even when she searches Gildan's underground tunnels to find her younger sister Ellie, who ran away to find the sleeping princess in hopes of a better life. Corin's conviction is challenged when she discovers the ruins of an ancient castle maintained by beings from the kingdom's golden age who protect a hidden portal into Princess Amelia's subconscious. Following Ellie's voice, Corin jumps into the portal and seals the entry behind her. Inside the lush world of Amelia's dreams, the sisters reunite for a new adventure as they meet Briar Rose, Amelia's whimsical alter ego, and Malicene, a sharp-tongued demon with a gift for magic. But as they explore ice castles, sunflower mazes, and star-filled oceans, Corin suspects Briar Rose is hiding darker secrets behind her perfect paradise, and that there are some things their subconscious can't bury forever. Sounds like trauma. For books you've been avoiding, which I'm not gonna lie, this feels like a clear shit prompt, gang. Lexi, was this a clear shit prompt? You probably told me this was a clear shit prompt and I promptly forgot. Anyway, for books you've been avoiding, I will be reading the Priory of the Orange Tree series. I've been avoiding it because the Priory of the Orange Tree is huge. So I will be reading Among the Burning Flowers, A Day of Fallen Night, and the Priory of the Orange Tree. I would give you the summary of these books without us. 3 different books, and they are in a series, and I don't want to. And then last but not least, we have Indigenous author. I'm kind of excited about this because I would class this personally as a neoclassic. but I don't think it's being classed as that, but I personally would have marked it as such. I will be reading The Gilda Stories by Jewel Gomez. Gilda laid the secret open with great detail. She described her first bath, the scent of her mother's sweat, the feel of a bird's arm around her waist, the sound of laughter from the women of the Woodards, the thrill of moving beside the wind, and how the smell of wind had changed in the years since she'd taken to the road. She even described the rush of life she felt as she shared the blood, leaving dreams in exchange. She told of mourning friends and family long dead, and of her fear of not dying, of not being one with the universe again. This is about a vampire, a gay black vampire, and the book was written back in the day. That just seems really interesting. I'm very excited to read it. I think it's short stories, like a short story collection essentially, but about one character. And I'm really excited to read it. I think it's gonna be really good. I don't know. I kind of found it on a whim because I wanted to make sure I didn't skip the Indigenous author prompt. Like, it felt important to me to do. So I guess this could fit an age gap too, because if she takes anybody that's not a vampire, then technically there's an age gap there. But I know that's not what the intention of that prompt is. Anyway, that's the TBR. That's everything I'm going to be reading for September, or everything I've planned to read in September. If you've watched my videos for a while, you know I always end up reading more, but this is already a really long TBR. But this is the plan. If you have read any of these books or you're participating in Sapphic September, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to chat about it with you. If not, why not? Why aren't you participating? You can follow Lexi and Landice in all of the places. I will try to put their things down in the description boxes down below. And I think that's going to be it. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share if you're already subscribed and stuff. Talk to me, comment, let's have a chat. I post videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, except for the first full week of the month. So I will see you later on this week for the vlog. Don't forget to take your meds, drink your water, and do something today to take care of yourselves, like reading a Sapphic book. Okay, thanks, bye.